So about 6 weeks ago, some news started to gain traction in the greater community, if not just the Go world, about the humans reclaiming their rightful place atop the Go God hierarchy, where a team of researchers, and we'll take a look at them in a moment, basically figured out a way, found an exploit in basically all the top Go AIs, these superhuman AIs, that were far surpassing all human skill level. Well, we can beat it now. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can beat it too, because it's actually not that hard. The exploit is pretty glaring. I think a good subtitle for this video would be something along the lines of why we don't have self-driving cars yet. Because these little tiny glitches in these AI systems are prevalent and are a bigger problem. And make me feel all sorts of different things in all different directions, and we'll talk about that too. But anyway, here's the Ars Technica article. We have a PC Gamer article. The strange thing to me is how actual little fanfare this got within the Go community. When AlphaGo beat Lee Sedol, this was a major event. We were having viewing parties. A lot was written about in popular culture. It was a major story, and it made me feel lots of things. The first of which being just sort of defeated as a human. Go was this last bastion of human defense against the machines in this, whatever sort of fantasy world that I live in, apparently. And the end of humans being on top of the Go pyramid signaled a fundamental shift in society. And so within the last few months, humans have reclaimed it. Right? We found the weaknesses in these AIs, and this is amazing. This is amazing. And so how do they do that? Well, there's a team here, mostly computer scientists, but some of these fellow individuals play Go as well. Kellen Pelrine, I believe, is the strongest Go player who's also a computer scientist on this team. And they used computers to beat computers, right? They basically trained a computer to help look for exploits, which they found. They found two, essentially. The first of which actually had to do with passing. And sometimes the various AIs didn't know what to do with a pass. You could actually kind of glitch it out a little bit with a pass stone. And we knew this was been true for a long time, and it doesn't affect all AIs equally. And I think most of them are kind of beyond this. But it still causes some shakiness. I remember going to a Go Congress when ELF was being demoed. ELF was Facebook's strongest Go AI. And I was sitting at a table, and we were all playing ELF, a bunch of boards. Another strong Don player passed in the middle of the game, kind of unexpectedly. And the AI passed as well, and they had to go to counting, which didn't make any sense given the state of the board, and basically white wins by Comey or something like this. It was very strange. But we know about that. Anyway, that's not that interesting of an exploit, I don't think. The more interesting one is creating these cycle groups. And you can go, they have this goattack.far.ai site where they detail a lot of the research. I have read their actual published paper. It's about 50 pages long. It's got a lot of Go pictures, though, and for a layperson, it's actually pretty readable as far as a computer science research paper is concerned. It's really not that dense compared to what it could be. But it does detail some of the techniques, and like I said, it's got lots of good Go diagrams in here for our Go brains to look through. There's a good interview that Cross Labs AI published with two of the team members. This is Tony Wang, and here's Kellen. And they sort of detail a little bit more about the computer science implications of their findings. And at the end of this video, Kellen actually plays a game live against one of the strongest AIs, Katago, and wins quite easily. And again, I'm going to show you how to do that today in this video. So, stay tuned for that. But a lot of this research is also just trying to be applicable to all sorts of other AIs. Like what does this tell us about where AIs are at and these adversaries that we can essentially program to take them down to find these exploits? It makes the whole prospect of AI even more frightening, even more valuable, even more like the future is not inevitable. And it certainly, on one hand, makes me feel like, oh yeah, humans still have a place at the table. We're not going to be overtaken by robots necessarily as soon as previously thought. So let me start getting into the actual techniques. The real reason why you're here, because all of you want to be super amazing, strong, superhuman Go players who can take down the strongest AIs. Let's start with some general concepts. The main exploit that this team found, and again, I don't want to take credit here, like they did the real research. I'm going to try to boil it down and make it so that anyone can understand it. Q players can take down the strongest AIs. That's my job here today. But the real research was done by this team, and I'll give them full credit. I will put a link up somewhere, in the doobly-doo below, so you can go read and look into the research more directly. But anyway, the basic premise of how these AIs, these superhuman strong AIs, were able to be taken down was through what they call a cycle group. And I'll show you what these means. I've played a lot of practice games against AIs, testing this out and really just sort of refining my skills. And it was hard. Like you have to ditch so much of your common Go strategy, your heuristics. You really have to throw them out and play really poorly, it turns out. But here's a good illustration. In this game, the AI is white. You can see it sort of formed this completely solid ring around my dead group. And it turns out when you do this, the AI doesn't actually compute the life and death situation this correctly. For whatever reason, it sort of learns that, this white group is indestructible, even though it has no eyes, but because it's completely ensnared a black group that is dead, it must be alive. And so you can take advantage of that. And you can see in so many of these other games I've played, that's exactly what happens. Here's the cycle ring group over here. Here's one right over here. And that's basically what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you some ways how you can guide the AI into playing one of those groups. Now, in my own several dozen games at this point against AIs where I've done this, there's a good way to do it, and I shouldn't say a good way. Let's say there's an okay way to do this, and then there's the dirty way to do this. And in a lot of my games against the Kata Go, at least at 10,000 playouts, which is superhuman, about 1,000 playouts is where our top human players can get to. So 10,000 just blows that out of the water. But in my games against 10,000 playout Kata Go, playing more legitimately doesn't work. You kind of have to play dirty. The robot is just so insanely strong. I have been able to play kind of cleanly, and what I mean by that is, let me see if I can find a game down here, against the 2,500 Kata Go, where I make actual, let's see, what was a good one. I make legitimate groups for the most part. You can see over here around this ring group, there's a black, very much alive group that extends most of the board. The corner is totally alive. My inside group is dead. But other than that, everything else on this board is legitimate. Like I didn't have to give up any other groups. I didn't have to play dirty. I just had to shape the board in such a way. In other words, putting a strong group over here and over here and over here, and use those stones to essentially guide and curl the opponent's stones around the group I wanted it to kill. It doesn't work against the 10K very well. The 10K, you have to play dirty, and I'll show you how to do that very explicitly. So, without further ado, let's show you how you can beat a superhuman AI. All right, so here we go. Here's our game loaded. We have this. Why is my mind drawing a blank? All right, we're starting with a 3-3 point. The reason why we're starting with a 3-3 point is we need to convince this robot that it is just dominating this whole entire board. I'm even going to play extra conservative over here. And I'm just going to try to convince it that it's just winning, that it just owns everything. And that's part of the trick. We need to get this robot thinking that it's like 150 points ahead. And then once we're in that kind of position where it seems like there is no hope, we can get away with the dirty stuff, the dirtiest of dirt. It's gonna start occurring. So at this point, my opponent, everyone's defended all the corners. So this is where we're going to start. I'm going to start with this 5-5 point. Now, this 5-5 point is not my own invention. This was played a lot by Kellen and the team of researchers, basically to start making a group over here that we want our opponent to kill. So I'm going to borrow that technique. And we're both going to try to take the outside and the inside, which usually results in disaster, right? Usually you can't get everything. You have to choose. But we're going to try to get both. And we're already down by almost 7 points. That's going great. We're well on our way to losing enough on this board that we will be able to do the dirty and trick. I shouldn't say trick. What should I say? Take advantage of this unfortunate superhuman AI and just make it look so dumb. There has been some speculation, more than speculation, I guess some analysis too, that in the Lee Sedol AlphaGo game number 4, part of the reason why Lee Sedol was able to win was that the AI was kind of in this circle type situation where it had almost completely surrounded that top of the board. I don't think that's really what happened. I mean, I haven't really gone back and like really applied all these techniques explicitly to that game. I don't quite see it, but maybe it's something there. Maybe that is what tripped it up. Either way, the computer did start, playing some subpar moves that was obviously some sort of glitch or caught up on something. However, since that AlphaGo game, these Go AIs have actually gotten a lot stronger, and that like we're doing with a whole new beast now than we were, back in 2016. All right, so we're just making sure our corner group's alive. In a moment here, we're gonna start making this stone very much a live group. I've noticed in the games that they've shared from the research team, the general strategy is actually build out this group first. So I've had it work both ways. I don't think it matters a whole lot. It's a little bit more of a style thing. But we're really just going to try to make a big-eyed group here. And you can make a two-eyed group. This does kind of actually also work with two eyes. And the robot still gets confused as long as it forms a cycle around it. It still thinks the cycle group is still alive, even if you have a completely live group that's not dead on the middle. But I think this is easiest to do with a big-eyed group, and so that's what we're going to look for here. And so I'm going to play another stone over here. I'm a little bit worried about this stone. This stone makes my life a little bit harder later on. It's not too bad, nothing we can't deal with. But ideally, I want my opponent to be so strong that they aren't playing stones this close to this group. That's kind of the goal here. That'll make our life easier. Now, there's still ways to deal with this. You'll see later on. But I really want my opponent to, just the AI that is, to feel like they can do whatever they want on this board. They've got no clouds in the sky. I might even play a few, not illegitimate moves, but some moves, they're definitely legitimate moves, but moves that provoke multiple reactions that I have no intention of saving. And in the hopes that that'll get my opponent to Tanuki an extra time or two during the course of the game, where I'll be able to play more endgame looking kind of moves on this side of the board. I feel like we should play one more, but instead of dealing with that, I'm going to take one more move in the corner. Again, terrible move at this point in the game. You would never play this. Already down by over 16 points. But, again, I just want to convince my opponent that these are weak. They have all the time in the world. There's nothing for them to worry about. They're just going to start killing them. Play one more move to make sure we have a big eye style group over here. We could actually turn this into two eyes right now if we wanted to. But after this, we're going to start playing some moves that are just going to make us all feel real bad. Starting with this one. Not sure if anyone saw this coming. I'm going to play this little 5-point endgame move. Because what is really important is that white doesn't get any eyes. And so if white doesn't get any eyes, we're happy. We need to have white's strength, or supposed strength, be just focused on the fact that they've killed this group here. So having additional eyes, that move's unfortunate. That one, That one's unfortunate. That's going to make our life a little bit harder, especially in combination with this stone. But, you know, we'll make do. We'll make do. So maybe we'll poke this a little bit. We'll see if we can get them to connect. And I might play another, just a couple moves on this side of the board just to make sure we have enough points to actually win the game when we kill this. But then we'll also maybe play some other moves where we'll try to get the opponent to, you know, react, and have multiple reactions to the moves we play. So something like in here. Very good. So this looks like we're killing ourselves off. That's perfect. We really want white to take the outside here. And we want to make white feel like they're just the strongest, in the strongest position on this board. We'll add one more. Actually, we'll probably play this Hane too. Just to, again, make sure white is super strong. Now, when you do this, it's very important. You can't give white so many points that even if they die here, they, you know, by owning just a huge corner over here or letting one of these other places die, we get ourselves into trouble. Tanuki, oh, okay. It's going to try to kill my group. That is very reasonable. We will defend. And I'm a little bit in danger here of losing my big eye. I think the robot will be able to see right now that I still can't quite live. And as long as the robot feels that way, we're fine. Okay. I'm very tempted. I should try to live here a little bit more. I should just make it so that the robot really needs 2 moves to kill me at any point. Because then we'll get 2 extra follow-up moves. Or we can just live outright. Both of those would be acceptable kind of endeavors. So over here, we're just going to poke like this. I'm sad about this move. This move, when sometimes the AI doesn't play moves like this and just lets your corner group just skirt along the bottom, those games are so much easier. It's going to let us connect out. Now that's unfortunate. We really don't want to connect this group out. But it's okay, we still got our free move. What we would really like to do is find a way to disconnect. And it looks like we can play some combinations of things here. We'll try poking this one more time. See if we can get a response. Maybe I should have played that one first. Not sure. We're already down by 33 points, so that's going. That part of the plan is going swimmingly, just swimming right along. We do want to connect that. We should get another response here now. This bamboo joint, I would imagine, would be a natural move to play. Yep, okay. Which means we'll take that now quite happily. And I should, at some point, like, I don't know, maybe play another move over here. Well, one of the other important aspects to this is we really can't have anything, like I said, big groups on the, like if this group gets out and connects to something else, that is a problem. So I think we'll just play here. White might finish the job in the top left-hand corner. That's feeling really big. Coming over here is feeling really big. But also just building out this Moyo might be big enough as well. And that's perhaps the most difficult thing for me to deal with. Okay, so we got another sort of quasi-Tanuki move over here. Oh, I should... we'll see. We'll see what... I don't know what the robot's going to do in this situation. We do want to be careful and make sure we do keep this group contained. All right, right there, we're starting to lose a little bit of our big eye space, but that's okay. Can we play this? Looks possible. Let's see. Let's see. We do need to get in here and make sure these eyes are not a thing. And so what might end up happening is we might actually end up getting cut here and have this very tiny There we go. Perfect. Very tiny little pitiful group on the outside over here, and our little crawling group, it's also pitiful on the inside, and just need them both to have enough liberties. And how many liberties is enough? Well, sometimes with these little wall fragments, I've had as few as 4 liberties, and the AI still hasn't been able to figure out the capturing race with this cycle group. Obviously, I feel a lot better with more than 4 liberties, but I'm just putting that out as a minimum. This is asking for trouble. I think we're okay though. Well, we are mostly okay. We should. I kind of would like to get a little more liberty first over here, something like this, but I'm not sure if the AI will let me have this or not. Let's try. I also need this move. Let's try it. Let's just try it. And again, maybe this isn't actually necessary since we have this liberty here. We can't be captured directly, but this is the kind of thing that when we try to encircle this, we run out of liberties real fast. And like I said, I do want to target having, more than 4 at the end. So that's okay. We're going to do this very stupid looking push in the hopes that white blocks directly. Again, my life gets much more difficult if white turns, but blocking seems pretty natural at this point. But we'll see. I really don't know what the AI thinks, ever. Okay, perfect. We don't need to cut this yet. It's incredibly unlikely that without any threat to this group, that AI will connect. And so these moves just should be hurting your brain. You're just going like, what are you doing? Like, this is just stupid. So stupid. We'll see if we get... The cross-cut is the scariest move, of course. Actually, scariest move might just be this B8 point, where white just goes and starts making eyes. But here we can play this one. We can play this one. Kind of want to play this one with the B8 follow-up. And we're just going to have this very pity group on the inside. This whole group down here, the life and death status of this group, this is what this whole thing is going to be banking on very soon. I fully expect white to cut here. But we'll see. Again, move we really don't want to see is something like B8. And again, not that B8 ruins our day entirely, just makes our life a little bit more difficult. That is fine. I think we even have time to play this. This does short our own liberty. But again, I want to be able to play B10 and B8 somewhat successfully. Although, actually, it probably won't... the AI is probably not liking... Or it might respond to the B8 or the B10 move instead of with B12, just B8. And I wouldn't be surprised at that either. But we do have this little poke here. And so we might be okay. We'll see. Moment of truth. What's the robot going to take? We're down by 80 points. Cruising right along. And you can see that after this white Hane, this black group on the inside also doesn't have much. We'll save that Atari for later. Much more important to get this point. Now, right now, this only gives us 3 outside liberties. To see how I'm counting them, basically I'm counting all these liberties on the inside are shared. So it's not quite as much as we'd like. That's a very strange move at this point, but this sets off my radar just a little bit. Like, oh, for the moment, the AI is actually interested in making eyes. That's unfortunate for us. We don't want to make this AI ever that interested. Okay, it's like, no, we got other things to do. Great. So at this point, we can take this connection and just basically give ourselves no clouds in the sky over here. Just guarantee our existence. And robot will take another Atari. That's fine. And then soon we'll just take this this cut and guarantee that we have a leftover cycle group. All right, well, now our life is more difficult because now we have to surround the whole thing. That is, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. We flew too close to the sun. But all hope is not lost. Let me show you what to do if the robot makes your life difficult. We will just extend here. And we'll just come on the outside. We are succeeding in losing lots of points. I think we have done that quite well. At this point in the game, yep, the AI is going to start well, I expect it to be a little more aggressive. This is a little more conservative, especially with these liberties. There we go. This is what I mean by a more aggressive kind of move, where it's trying to do two things at once. It's trying to both put some pressure on the corner, as well as completely surround this very stupid-looking group over here. And that's great. We want the AI to make more efficient moves here. So we'll even get a little bit more strength before we come over here and play this type of move. And I'm a little bit sad that this connection here actually isn't that strong. Like, we can cut it whenever we want, and I really don't want that. I think that's actually part of our problem. Why our opponent was careful to connect here and play this move is, unfortunately, it hasn't quite formed the cycle yet. So we're having a little bit of difficulty with that. But have no fear. We're still good. The AI's got things to do over here. I'm just going to start really investigating the depth of this corner for us. Now I'll just take this shape point. And I think we can play here to solve our problems. We do have to figure out a way to make this cut. We're going to have ending with a cut group over here, some cut liberties. So it'd be really nice to just make sure we have a way to give this cutting stone that I'm already sort of imagining on the board a few extra liberties. So that's why I'm going to try to lean on this just a little bit. Okay, that did not help. We can get up to 3, maybe more. Well, realistically, probably not. All right, that's a good move, AI. You can smell this coming. This AI feels sharper than than my last play with it. It's done some surprising things. It's done some surprises. So this stone is just dead, right? White just cuts. We have no hope for it. But again, if I can get it up to 4 or 5 liberties, there we go. That's what we wanted to see. That's a beautiful move for us. Because now we can just safely connect, even maybe play this one. Which should hopefully result, in getting a response. And we should just make sure there is this little Aji thing. We'll just connect it all. Might even take this Atari just for funsies. Okay, finally connects. That's great. That is great. So over here, we'll play this one first, I guess. Actually, let's play this Atari. Well, we have it. I don't think it matters, but we're just making a bunch of dead groups. Like, that's all we got to do. I do want to play both of these. Here are the next 2 moves I need to basically guarantee. If I can get both of these, we're in a real good spot. Let's play this one first. Let's make sure the AI still thinks this is just totally dead. And just do a quick check. Okay, that's beautiful, right? It's not giving us any Aji there. From here, we need this one. Let's play this one. And again, this is very dirty. If you're playing a human, this would never happen. Like, this would just not be possible. This is the shape point. And I think we can play it totally fine. We don't need to capture the stone. And I guess that would make a false eye for white, which would be fine, but we don't need to do such things. I fully expect an Atari next. It's going to fix that connection. All right. Go get it. We'll play there. Again, this is just going to help us make the big eye. And you can see we very much have a dead group on the board, right? This group over here does not have a way to live. But I'm just going to tell you all that's fine. That is okay. We just needed to have some liberties and let the AI be confused. It's going to attack my corner. We do want that to live, so we will respond. So if you enjoy this content, this channel, this is a good time to just say, please like and subscribe. If you feel like I have added something of value to your life, please consider going onto the Patreon and signing up as a patron there. All those things really do help me out and keep me motivated to keep on going. What am I doing? Did I just die? I can't like shill for my channel and play Go at the same time. It turns out I just died. Guys. Okay. Guys. Oh man. All right, we can't lose anything else, okay? We gotta make sure now this game is getting really close. We need to live over here. Okay, we're fine. We're fine-ish. Fine-ish. It's not Ko, right? We have enough liberties to avoid the Ko. Oh man, he's got 4 leaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 1 extra liberty, okay. All right, we're not dead. We're not dead. Yes, I cannot shill and play Go at the same time. That's what I've learned. This is the real reason why you never hear me say, or almost never, like in so few videos, like every YouTube creator says, like, like and subscribe, and it's like, I just don't even bother. It's not good for my overall channel because I come real close to being in danger of screwing up the video. So messing up the content. What you doing? Just poking? That's fine. We do. It'd be nice to keep these. We're going to have to give these up. Give these up to the Go gods. That's okay. We've got just about everything we've wanted. Also notice I'm not taking cuts like this. I want my opponent to fill those in. Did I die? This isn't dead, right? Somebody? Bueller? Somebody? Maybe this is a 10,000 year co. Well, that would be tragic. Okay, so gonna take that. That seems pretty reasonable. I prefer not to have a Sibicky either, but, when in Rome. This is feeling very like 10,000 year co-ish. So if that does manifest, we'll have a bonus Go lesson. Not only how to beat a super strong superhuman AI, but have a quick little 10,000 code life and death problem, which is cool. Actually, this was a little bit surprising. I didn't want it to take it yet because I wasn't ready. I wasn't quite ready. I do not have a big eye here because white can play here. That is a small eye. So that does throw this whole status into a little bit of jeopardy. But we'll see what the bot thinks. Okay, bot's going to play there. We can make our big eye now. And I do want to preserve these inside liberties. That seems to help confuse the AI. I could have played here to also make the big eye, but that would short us to the inside liberties. Okay, there we go. Very good. We'll take a little quasi-sente move. I guess I should play this. It's also a big move over here. But we'll see. We'll see. I should play this as well. This is just a good endgame. Going to ignore. Huh. Okay, well, I can connect out that way. I can capture that stone. Actually, threatening to capture that stone is pretty good. We should just take this, right? Do I need to defend? Let's play this over here. I'm more concerned with taking away white's points and getting better endgame over here. And maybe still finding a way to use the Saji than protecting my corner. Famous last words. Okay, yeah, I was just going to defend that way. So that just makes us like permanently alive. We don't get to see the potential 10,000 year co. That's okay. We do also want to continue playing some endgame over here. Right now, white thinks all this is his, which means we can kind of reduce it kind of for free. Free being a very subjective word, but you do want to take advantage of that. Again, just to make sure, like, if we did die over here, and we know we're dead in this corner, if white was to seal this off in something kind of Sente-ish, white would still have a lot of points, and I don't think it'd be enough to win on this board. But again, I have had games where I've been able to ensnare the cycle group, especially when it stays small, right? This white, we let this white group kind of crawl out a little bit too far, which was very depressing. Here, this is probably better. But this is a big move. Very big move. This might have been bigger than the corner. And again, yeah, if you're wondering why the AI isn't playing any moves over here, well, it's because it it's dead as far as the AI is concerned. It's not alive. And so we hit our target. There's us down by 150 points on this board. Beautiful. This is going to be free. There's no way the AI lets that slide. I do want to play this, but again, I guess the AI is never going to play there. The AI move is going to play over here, so let's play this one. This does leave a little bit odgy, but seems good enough. And so let's talk about some feelings. Hey, look, we gained a point in the AI. Look at that. Look at that. It's only a 146-point game. Again, it's probably playing moves to ensure its probability of success, not so much point maximization. But that's fine. We will allow it. This is good. This is good. This is fine. Like, the AI probably won't respond. We'll probably take an actual legitimate big endgame point, but that's fine. But how do we feel? This is again going all the way back to AlphaGo. I kind of went into like a Go depression for a while, where I just didn't know anything. Like, these robots had come and just overtaken the game so suddenly, and this very human thing, which in my mind is Go, right? Go is this incredibly human game. And by human I mean our relationship to it. The game itself feels supernatural, right? It's this game that feels like it's a natural, emergent complexity of the universe itself. But our relationship to it is very human, and how the different, major Go playing civilizations have related to it, right? In Japan, it's more of this cultural, artistic process. There's some of that in China as well, to be sure. With the five, I think it's five main disciplines of a proper Chinese scholar. Right, Go was one of them. It is this cultural effect. In other places, like currently how it is seen more in places like Korea, it's more like a sport. It's also seen as philosophy. Are we going to die over here? Should I have been paying more attention? Certainly looks that way. All I need is a Seki-ish or a big eye kind of shape. What's the best way to do that? Feels like it might be like this. If I play there, he plays there. If I play there, I get this weird Ko thing. I don't really want a weird Ko thing. I just want a big eye. All right, let's play it that way then. And anyway, as I was saying, we've had this, thousands of years relationship with this game now. And, so few of our cultural products, if you think Go is a cultural product, which it might not be at all. Like, you might just think, it's like aliens play it, dude. Like, it's universal. But there's very few cultural products that go back further than Go does. We have to start talking about things like food, like eating meat, right? We could talk about perhaps as a cultural product. All right, that's fine. We have a little Seki kind of situation here. This is a pretty big move. Should we take it? Do we have to do anything else over here? Should we start filling in liberties? Not sure. We'll play here. We'll play maybe over here, and then we'll commence the end game. I guess I lied. We'll play here first. So anyway, my overarching story was when AlphaGo happened and sort of took that away from us in this very just abrupt manner. I felt felt real bad. Like, I was like, oh, the universe is not where I left it. I think that was a phrase I used, like something had fundamentally shifted and changed in my mind about where we were as a society. And, I'm a person who thinks a lot about bigger things and social, and not just social issues, but issues of the universe. I'm a big fan of eschatology, the study of the end of everything. And I have a hat, I think I've even worn on this channel a couple times, a big purple hat that says, heat death of the universe, that I tell people I wear in order to raise awareness. And man, wow, that's okay. I'm surprised I didn't play this bamboo joint, but I guess it's like, no, we got liberties to fill in here. So we'll get that. That's for free. Oh, this is also for free. We got another poke here that's totally free. We should take our free stuff and then move along. Yeah, the universe didn't feel where I left it. And so after just in the last less than 2 months, all that feeling of, the universe isn't where I left it has reemerged. And now it's in a different place than where I left it, 7 years ago. So I think this is a very long way of just saying, emotionally, I'm still just very confused and whiplashed. And this type of thing affects me more than perhaps the average person. I think a lot of you are on this channel because you guys feel it too. Like, I don't, I think you all relate to this sort of stuff. And that's why you're here. But yeah, this is just another chapter. And I know it hasn't gotten as much attention as AlphaGo, and perhaps rightfully so, but at the same time, no, this fundamentally shifted my thinking, my emotional state with regards to this game. And not just the game, but humans, machines, technology at large. And so I guess if you do leave a comment, again, you should always like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the doobly-doo things. But if you do leave a comment, I think the thing that I want to hear most from each of you is how are you feeling? like how does this all make you feel? Because I'm not sure for myself yet. I'm really just not. I guess we'll respond to that. A point of endgame is a point of endgame. We are coming up on the 200 point mark. Oh wow, it's actually starting to fill in some liberties. That's fascinating. That's weird. Now, one thing that didn't happen in this game is that there often reaches a point where the AI starts realizing that it done effed up. And it starts playing some nonsense moves. Like, you see the thing break. I'm looking forward. It's not there yet. It's still playing these probing, maybe kind of moves. Maybe this is all dead, but maybe I need to play a move to secure it, to up that win percentage, to be safe. So that's fascinating. Wow, it's filling in its own liberty now. Yep. We're just gonna, soon this thing is gonna break. And how Katago breaks specifically usually is you'll see it play a few nonsense moves. One too many liberties will get filled in. Should I fill in that liberty? It certainly feels like it. I should also fill in that one too. Maybe I should have done that one first. But it might play a few nonsense moves. I'm not sure if it's actually true. It's probably not. It's just all in my head. But it feels like it takes a few extra ticks on this bot is thinking. And I think it should be reading out the same number of cycles, approximately the same number of variations each time. So there really shouldn't be a huge variation in that. Maybe it's just my excitement. Did it pass? It just passed. That's a thing that also happens sometimes. Or it's just no, I've got a 192 point win. There's nothing else to do on this board. Here we go. Game is over. Did it just pass again? I don't think I've ever seen it pass multiple times. That's how... wow, okay. This AI today did some things differently. than the several dozen times I've played it before. And that's actually really also kind of exciting. It's like, oh, wait, there's still actually some new variations to discover in these patterns. So that's kind of cool. Which, gives me some pause sometimes, right? When this white cycle group connected out, I was like, oh, did not expect it to do that. But again, it thought it was weaker than it should have been. I guess we should take that liberty away. That always gets a response. And you're just watching the superhuman AI right now die and not know that it's dying. Although check that out. It just dropped its win score by 20 points. That's cool. That's fascinating. It's like something's up, but it doesn't know what is. All right, we're back to 194. That is fine. Fine with us. We're just going to keep taking away these liberties. And again, we did not play a legitimate go here, right? This was very dirty go. We got to and look, it's actually this it's now black up by 30. I didn't see it break in this game. That's the other interesting thing. It didn't play the nonsense moves. It just went right to passing. Usually by the time it gets to this point, it's played a few just garbage stones. And that totally didn't happen this time. Now we're up by 60. And there you go. There's the resignation. It's now, let's see how many liberties it's down to. It's down to only 2 liberties. When we get down to 2 liberties, it can figure out that, no, it's dead. And so, wow, we just beat a superhuman AI. And I played terrible. I did not play good go moves really at any step of this, which is why I'm convinced that, if you just watch this video and you just saw the general idea of what we were trying to do, you can do this too. And man, just imagine, if we rewound the clock back to 2016, and we were able to feed human players this knowledge, the AlphaGo never would have happened, right? It would have just been seen as another deep blue. It's really cool, it's really powerful, but it's not intelligent. It's a processing tool. Instead of seeing AI as this end game, right? This inevitable end game that we are currently entering, it would have been a really smart processing tool. It wasn't this infallible god. And perhaps in Go, that's the thing that we see. We have this culture of the hand of God, right? Playing the perfect move is the divine move is such ingrained into our culture. That idea that if you can know what's going on a Go board and play that one move that is divine, you've achieved nirvana, right? You've transcended something. And I think for the last few years, we've all sort of thought, well, the robots are closer than we are. But then this happens. Whew. Incredible, right? Yeah. So tell me how you're feeling. If you don't believe me how strong a 10,000 play out Katago is, go play it at 9 stones and try to win. And you will be ripped to shreds. Yeah, give yourself 9 stones, right? Make sure you do that. This is incredible. Every time I beat I've done it several dozen times. Not with 100% chance. I do screw up, and you saw me almost kind of screw up this game. I am playing dirty because I'm not playing legitimate moves, right? I'm playing dirty moves, and the things about tricks is they don't always work. They have trained, the research team has been able to have some success with getting, I think Katago specifically, down from like a 90+% loss percentage down to a 70% loss percentage. So it does actually it does occasionally figure out the cycle group thing or play something that prevents it from happening. Perhaps more the likely scenario, but it's still very fallible. And so, man, this is just such an Achilles heel. yeah, like the universe is not where I left it once again. And that's it. So, I suspect this might be one of my most watched videos in the last 3 or 4 years. Which rightfully so. Again, this is, for me at least personally, this is a much bigger deal than I think for all of our non-Go playing friends. And let me know how you're feeling. Just where are you at with this? Like, are you psychologically affected by any of this? I know a lot of you out there are computer scientists, and you're like, well, of course, the program does this, and of course it has weaknesses. Of course it has these fallacies, and you may just write it off. But man, when you take the rest of that cultural impact stuff and our relationship to technology, to machines, to the universe, man, our story just keeps changing. So thanks for watching. Do all the things in the doobly-doo, like, comment, subscribe. If you feel like I've earned something beyond that, please, sign up on Patreon. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. We might go back to doing some wine and go videos for a while, because that's kind of where I'm at. All right. Thanks for watching.
Get the stones, get the bowls, capture race, to space base, destiny, Tanuki, Joseki.